Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the long-awaited Ender Dragon. That's right, it's finally here. I've finally done it for you guys, just as I promised I would. By the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, I would highly recommend checking out the card system for not only the videos and playlists that I'm going to be linking there, but one very specific playlist, my Minecraft mob statue tutorials playlist. If you like the Ender Dragon and all of the mobs in Minecraft, check that out because I've made just about all of them. But moving on, if you want to make the Ender Dragon, here's what you're going to need. You will need some quartz stairs, then flip over, grab yourself some purple wool, magenta wool, light grey wool, and finally grab yourself some black wool. And believe it or not, those are the only materials that you're going to be needing. So once you have each one of those, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, and this is an important bit guys, so you can see this tower of quartz that I have right here. That is 100 blocks off of the ground, and I'm going to be making the dragon off of the ground on top of those 100 blocks. I'm going to be starting with the head and working my way backwards. By the way, you only have to have the dragon about 50 blocks off of the ground to be safe, about 50 blocks. So you can make it higher, you can make it lower than 100. As long as it's about 50 blocks, pushing it at about 40 blocks off of the ground, then you're alright. And like I said, we're starting with the head, working our way backwards. So once you yourself have figured out how high you want it off the ground, I have it 100 blocks off the ground. And once you've figured out where you want to make it, you can start the tutorial. So we're going to start off with a row of 16 black wool coming up on top of this row of quartz. So that's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Take the 16th block and go right of it by 15. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Take this 15th block and go down by 15, but you don't have to count it out. What you have to do is line it up with the first block that we placed over there on the left, and then just connect it together to form a square shape. So you want to go down by what is 15, and you want to connect it all the way back to where we first started. You can see that I actually did most of the wrong row there. I had to drop it down another row, but that's not really important because we have to fill this entire thing in with black anyway. It doesn't matter that I've added that extra layer, but what is important is that you have a 16 by 16 square like this. Once you have your 16 by 16 square, we now want to take each one of the 4 corners and extend those coming out in front of the square each by 15. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And you want to do the same with all of the other corners. Except now that we have that first corner, we can kind of just match all of the other corners, or all the way over. We can match all of the other corners to the very first corner, and we can all drag them all the way over to the very same space as we have with the first, and then we just want to connect them together going around in a square shape. So we just want to end up, this is the dragon's head, the main part of the dragon's head. This is where his eyes are going to go and his horns and all of that fun stuff. And we just want to connect all of these rows of 15 together. So you can see that we've actually done a pretty good job here. All of them are the proper length, and we have ended up with a nice big giant black square shape like this, nice and empty. Now, once you have that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So, take where the face of your Ender Dragon is going to be. So for me, it's this very front face right here. And underneath this row of top black wool, fill in 2 rows of black wool coming down from this row of black. So do 1 row, and then 2 rows of black coming down from the top of where the face is going to be. Then, from this 3rd row that we have right here, so going from left to right from this 3rd row, you want to do 1 black wool, 1 magenta, 1 purple, 1 magenta. Drop underneath to the next row, so you're now on the next row, and going from left to right, do 1 black wool, then 1 magenta, 2 purple, 1 magenta. That is the Ender Dragon's left eye, or technically his right eye for him. Once you've done that on one side, do the same on the other. Let's come all the way over to this side and start from the right hand side, going from right to left, do 1 black wool, 1 magenta, 1 purple, 1 magenta. Drop to the next row and go from right to left, do 1 black wool, 1 magenta, 2 purple, 1 magenta. So we now have the Ender Dragon's eyes, both of them. So now that you have the eyes taken care of, this is what you want to do next. Come all the way down to the front bottom left hand corner of the face, which is this block right here. Counting in, coming right, you want to find the third block coming in, so this is a first, second, third. Come out in front of this third block by 14 with your black wall, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then take this 14th block, go up on top of it by 3, that's 1, 2, 3, and then connect back all the way to the face area. So you want to have something which should look like this, so you want to have that shape. Now, once you have this shape, you actually want to have the same shape, just 2 rows above. So, can you see this block that connects all the way back to the face? Go up on top of this by 2 with your, or by 3 with your black wall. So that'd be 1, 2, 3. So that block that connects back to the face, go up by 3 with your black wall. Then extend this third block out by 14. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then go up on top of this block by 3. That's 1, 2, and 3, and then connect back all the way to the face. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like this, and that's kind of like just the outline for the mouth. Now, once you've got that taken care of on one side, we want to have a very similar thing on the opposite side. So now from the bottom, from right hand corner of the face, we want to count in, find the third block, so that's 1, 2, and 3. Extend this out by 14, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then go up by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. Then connect all the way back to the face, and we just want to end up with something that should look like this. Then take this block that connects back to the face, go up on top of it by 3, that's 1, 2, 3. Then do the same thing that you did on the other side, so you'll go out by 14, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Then up by 3, and then connect back to the face, and that'll pretty much be the outline of the, smash that, it'll be the outline of the mouth, like that. All we have to do now is connect each one of those corner blocks together, so we just want to connect these front 2 corner blocks together for the lower part of the jaw, and now we just want to do the same thing for the top part as well. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like that, and there we have kind of like the outline of it. Now, what we now want to do is coming up on top of the nose here, the Ender Dragon has like 2 nostrils, and they're positioned as such. So on top of the front left hand part of the mouth here, you want to come in by 1 diagonal, so 1 block right here, and on top of this block that I've just placed, you want to place a black wall. Then coming towards the eyes, we want to come towards them by 3 with the black, that's 1, 2, 3. And then coming inwards, we want to add an additional layer of black wool, so we now have like 2 rows of 4 black, and then on top of those just add an additional row of black wool, so you want to have something which should look like that. Then, once you've got that taken care of on one side, do the same thing on the other side, so we want to come in from 1 with the diagonal, go up by 1, go back by 3, that's 1, 2, 3, and then you want to add an additional layer coming inwards, and then add a layer of black on top. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like that. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So inside of the mouth area here, where we have these 2 empty rows, we want to add an additional layer of black wool going all the way around the inside. So this is just for the visible parts of the mouth, so like where you'll be able to see like inside of the lower jaw and inside of the top of the mouth, you just want to add an additional layer of black. This is where we're going to be adding the Ender Dragon's teeth, and that is what the quartz stairs are for. You don't have to add this if you want a more realistic-y looking Ender Dragon, but I would add them simply because I think it looks kind of cool. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like this. Then take out your stairs and do this. So you can see where we have like this corner of black that we've just added in this second layer. Well, count in from this corner block, which is this one right here, and find the third block in. So that's the first, second, third. Place a regular facing stair, do the same thing on the opposite side. So corner block 1, 2, 3, in those positions, place regular facing stairs. Then, 1 block away above them, you want to place, 1 block away literally away from them, above them, you want to place an additional upside down stairs. So it might be easier to understand by looking, but you want to have an upside down stairs 1 block away, leaving a gap of 1 above them, and that wants to be upside down. Those are the teeth. It's actually quite easy, isn't it? There's nothing too difficult about that. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So next order of business is the area that we're going to have for inside of the mouth. So for the inside of the mouth, obviously you wouldn't expect it to just be like black and darkness, so we're just going to fill it in a little bit. We're going to connect that together, and the bit of the mouth that's actually going to be visible is going to be like this here, like for the back of the mouth, that which is essentially like the front of the face, is going to be this little area. Can you see this little rectangular patch that I have outlined here? Well, what you want to do is you want to knock out those 2 black walls that I kind of like placed just to illustrate what we're doing, and you want to have purple wool in its place like this. And where we have the horizontal rows of black that we kind of just connected the mouth together, we just want to destroy those, replace those with purple. Can you guys see where I'm placing these? And you just then want to have magenta in the center of those, so it wants to look a little something like this, and this is just like the back of the Ender Dragon's mouth. And then later, actually, when we do actually fill in the center of the mouth, it's going to dip in a little bit, so like the actual inside part of the mouth is going to be like 1 block inwards to kind of give a little bit of depth. So it's going to look a little something like this. We're not doing this now, obviously, but like the inside of the mouth is going to be filled in like that. It'll be like 1 block inwards, and if you have a look from the outside, like you can imagine that these side bits are going to be filled in. We can actually do it with the side of the mouth because it won't take very long. But you can see that these side bits are going to be filled in, and that will leave us with like a block inwards. And that's pretty much the entire Ender Dragon's face. So once you have that taken care of, all we have to do now are the horns. So come all the way up to the top front left-hand corner of the head. You want to be in line with this third block coming in from the corner. So that's the first block, second, third block coming in from the corner. With your black wool coming towards the back of the head, do a row of 6 black wool. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place a light grey wool on top of that 6th block, and then go behind that light grey by 5 with your light grey wool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do a row of 5 light grey coming inwards, like this, and then add 3 additional layers of light grey on top of this little thing here. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then you just want to build up the rest of that with your light grey wool, and those will be your Ender Dragon's horns. So why don't we just do those, and you have something that should look a little bit like that. Not only do you want to do this on the left, do the same thing on the right. So we're now on the right hand side here. We want to find the third block coming in from the head. That's 1, 2, 3. Coming in from this, you want to come in by 6 with the black. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place a light grey wool on top of the 6th block. Come behind it by 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then add an additional layer of light grey coming inwards from that row. And then add 3 layers on top of that. That's 1, 2, and 3. And then we just want to add 3 layers on top of it. So we just want to have something which should end up looking a little bit like this. So there you go, that's pretty much the entire Ender Dragon's head complete, minus the black wool, of course. That's the main thing that we're missing, and that's what's going to cut down the time of this tutorial. Once you've got the head taken care of, the next bit is going to be for us to take care of the neck. So take out your black wool and come all the way around to the very back of your Ender Dragon head. Starting from this top left hand corner here, you want to, from this corner, this top left hand corner, you want to do 3 bottom right diagonals from this corner. So this will be the first, second, third, like that. Take that third block, place a block coming out from it, then coming across to the right here, you want to go right by 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you should see that from this block, like you can kind of like 1, 2, and 3. So it's like it's in the equal spot on the opposite side. So take blocks number 1 and blocks number 10 and extend them coming out of the back of your Ender Dragon each by 8. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Connect each one of those 8 blocks together like that, and then you want to go down from those each by 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we want to do, we don't have to count this out again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can just use the other one as a measuring stick. We don't have to count it out 9 4 times, whatever that is, 36. We don't have to count that out. We don't have to count to a total of 36. So we just want to take each one of the 4 corner blocks and we want to extend them all down by 9, and then we want to connect them together, and this will form a nice big, technically rectangular shape. So connect them all together and that will form the very first link in the Ender Dragon's neck. It will look a little something like that, and that doesn't look too bad, does it, guys? Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. Come all the way up to the very top of the rectangular shape that you've made. You want to take the 2 middle blocks in your rectangular shape, and you should be able to eyeball it. It looks like these two, and you want to connect the front top and the back top of the little rectangular shape that you've made. You want to connect that together like this. So you want to have 2 strips of black, one on the left, one on the right, forming one, coming all the way up the top of the middle. Then take out your light grey wool and leaving a gap of 2 from the front on top of the 2 rows of black that you've just done, you want to do a row of 5 light grey wool on top of this coming back. So leaving a gap of 2, that's 1 and 2, you want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should leave a gap of 2 at the back as well. Do a row of light grey wool directly to the right of that. Then on top of this, you want to add 3 layers of light grey, so that's 1, 2, and 3, just as we did with the horns, and that will be 1, this will be 2, and then this will be 3. So you want to have something which should look like that. Nice and simple, guys, eh? So once you've got that taken care of once, we actually want to do this very same thing 4 more times in slightly different positions coming backwards. So the second time is going to be right behind this, except it's going to be 1 block higher. So it'll look a little something like this, guys. So starting from the back bottom of the link that we've just done, you want to, starting from the very left hand side, place a black wool, then drag that black wool all the way over to the right hand side here. Then take blocks number 1, and that's block number 10, and drag them all the way up until they are 1 block higher than the previous square that we have for the previous part of the neck. So they're 1 block higher. And then we want to do the same thing that we did with that one. We want to take each one of these 4 corner blocks, extend them back each by 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on and so forth with all of the other blocks. Once again, I don't want to count this all out, you know, however many times I have to do it, 4 times, whatever that adds up to. You extend these all back by 8, and then you connect them all together, and you connect them back to itself, and it forms another rectangular shape, another link in the chain. Once we've done that, we'll then have to do the 2 strips of black wool on the top coming up the middle. So now that we have the rectangular shape, we then want to do the 2 strips of black wool coming straight up the middle. You guys will be able to easily identify where to place those because you can just line it up with the previous one. We then, leaving a gap of 2 from the front, want to do your row of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light grey, add an additional row left of it or right of it, whichever way around it is, add 3 layers on top, that's 1, 2, and 3, and then you just want to end up with the exact same thing that you just had in front of you. So you want to have something which should look like that. We've done that twice. We now need to do this 3 additional times. So the next time, once you've done that to the second part, we now want to, once again, moving 1 block block upwards, and it is just 1 block upwards, we want to do the same thing. So we're first block from the bottom, on the back of the second part of the neck, place 1 in front of that second block, drag it all the way over to the right, then drag blocks number 1 and blocks number 10 all the way up until they're 1 block higher than the previous link in the chain, connect everything together to form a square shape, like this. Take each one of the 4 corners, extend them coming back each by 8, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you guys know what to do from there. We just connect them together and together and together until we have eventually done this 5 times in total. So this will be the 3rd one. We'll have to do this 2 additional times, and then we'll have to move on to the body. The body's quite easy all by itself. The body's just pretty much a larger version of this. So we have our square. We now have to do the 2 strips of black coming up the middle. We just have the 2 strips of black to do. Then we have the light grey wool. So starting from the front, we leave a gap of 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 3 layers of light grey. That's 1, 2, 3. free, 3 layers of light grey on top, and then that will be that. That'll be for the, I don't even know what to call, like the ridges on top of the neck, I don't know what to call them, but that is the third link in the chain. Let's add the fourth. This is a penultimate one for the neck, so 1 block away from the bottom once again, we place it, drag it all the way over to the right hand side here, take blocks number 1 and blocks number 10, extend them till they are 1 higher than the previous link in the neck, connect them both together, take each one of the 4 blocks, extend them back by 8, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we want to do the same thing with all of the other 4 corners, except, once again, we don't want to measure these things out, do we? Can you really be bothered? Do you really want to count to, oh, I don't know, 32? Do you want to count to 32 in total? Probably not. I know that I don't, so we just want to drag them back, and we just want to make our nice big rectangular shape, and we have just about done it. This is the 4th one, and then we've got to do the Mohican. At least that's what I'm, you know, that's what it kind of reminds me of on top of each one of these parts of the neck. It's kind of like a mini Mohican for each one of the parts of the neck. So starting from the front, leaving a gap of 2, that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3 layers of light grey on top. I'm doing this a little bit faster now because obviously you guys know what you have to do now. You guys are well aware of how this works. So there we go. That's the 4th part of the neck. Let's add the 5th part of the neck. So the 5th part of the neck, once again, 1 block higher, so it's just 1 block higher than the previous part of the neck. Take the end blocks, raise them up until they are 1 higher than the previous part of the neck, connect everything together to form a square. Take each one of the 4 corners as a square, extend them out each by 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And whoops, that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Connect all of those together in a square to form. Oh, that was not the right. Oh, oops, whoops. That was not the right length row, but that's okay. All of the others are definitely 8, so we can just discount that and we can just connect everything together as we would. Now that that's done, we can then just take the 2 middle rows here and here, take out the light grey wall, starting from the front, leave a gap of 2, that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light grey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light grey, add 3 layers, 1, 2, and 3, and that will be the neck complete. Minus filling in, of course, that will come later, but what we'll want to end up with should look a little bit like this, guys. So that's the Ender Dragon's neck, 5 links in the chain, exact same thing, it's just slowly working its way upwards. That's how that works. Very, very simple. So once you've got the neck taken care of, this is what you want to do next. Come all the way around to the very back of the neck. You can see here where we have this bottom row of black wool right at the back of the neck. Extend this coming out of the back by 1 row, like that. Then underneath this row, add 3 additional rows. So that'll be like 1, 2, and 3, and we just need to fill those in. So that'll be like 1, 2, and 3 coming, whoops, and this will be 3 coming down from the base of the back of the neck. You then want to take that bottom row and extend it out each by 7 left and right. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the opposite side as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then on top of each one of those 7th blocks, go up by 23. That's 2, 3, 23. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And you want to do the same with the other side, except what you can do, take that 23rd block, drag it all the way over to the left here, and when it looks as though that it's just about hovering above this 7th block, drag that 7th block all the way upwards and connect it horizontally to the row that we've just made. So you want to have something which should look like that. It just saves you counting out that 23 another time, and it also connects everything together, which is what we want anyway. And that is the front of the Ender Dragon's body. That is the front of the Ender Dragon's body, pretty much complete, guys. That is exactly what you're after. Not too difficult, is it? Anyway, once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So this is going to be quite time consuming. Coming all the way to the back of what we've made, we want to take each one of the 4 corners of the body and extend them, coming back each by 63. That is 6, 3, 63. So each one of the corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. I'm 100% sure that is 63, which means I don't have to count that out again. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to do the row just above it, the top corner, and I'm going to drag it back roughly 63-ish blocks, and I'm going to connect it down. You guys know what I'm doing here. I don't want to count out 63 4 times. I don't really feel like counting to 250, 252? Is that? I don't know. Me no math. But we're going to now take this 63rd block that we did at the bottom. We just added one 63rd block that we did down below. We're going to connect it all the way up to the top, delete the excess. Now we have 2 rows of 63. We can now take each one of these back corners and we can drag them a rough amount to the right, so until it looks like it's going to connect perfectly to the right. I'll add an additional block, and then we can come all the way to the front here, and then we can just extend each one of these blocks coming backwards. I know that this isn't exactly the perfect method of doing this. This is a little bit sloppy, but it does save you counting to 200 and something, whatever that may be. I'm pretty sure it's 252, who knows, but you guys can see, well, we were pretty close. Knock out that block, and then we can raise up this corner until it's roughly the same as that one right there, and we can just drag this over horizontally so we'll know that it will connect. We'll drag this over horizontally so we know that it's the right height. Hang on, wait for it, smash, and then we can take this corner and we can connect it all the way to the front, and we will know now that that corner is definitely in line with the front corner, and this will give us the body of the Ender Dragon. This is a very, very big space, very, very big indeed. I think it's like 24 by 64 or 64 by 24, whichever way you do it, and you end up with something that should look exactly like that. That is just massive all by itself. Once you have that taken care of, this is what you want to do next, ladies and gentlemen. So once you've got the body taken care of, you want to come all the way up to the very top of your Ender Dragon, and you want to locate the 2 middle blocks in your body of your Ender Dragon. This should be relatively simple to find because they're in line with the very 2 middle rows, like where we have this light grey. These are the 2 middle rows of the neck, these are the 2 middle rows of the dragon, so it's not that hard to find. If you need to, you can kind of just like add 2 rows of black wool that kind of like trace up along the front of the body in line with the light grey like I've just done there, and you can kind of like follow that onto the top. It's easier than counting blocks in. Hopefully you guys can see how I've just arrived at what I've done there. So what you want to do once you've found these 2 middle blocks is you want to take these and you want to extend them, coming towards the back of the dragon each by 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And on top of each one of these 5th blocks, place a light grey wool. Then from these light grey walls, you want to extend them, coming back each by 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then, on top of these 2 rows of 12, 1 plus 11, 12, you want to add 3 additional layers of light grey, so that'll be 1, 2, and 3, and we just want to add those layers on top. You guys know how to do this, we've already done this a few times before. It's the same thing that we did to the neck, except it's on a slightly larger scale. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger, there's a little bit more involved, but you want to have that. That is the first like ridge coming out the top of your dragon. Once you've done that first one, we now want to do another one. So we actually have to place a platform underneath the back of this scale. So this is like being built into the back now. So place 2 black wool underneath the bottom of the back of that scale. And then from these black of wool, you want to leave a gap of 8. So do 2 rows of 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do 2 rows of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then on top of those 9th blocks, you want to do your light grey walls and then extend them coming back each by 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And the other row as well, count that out to 11. Then add 3 layers of light grey on top of this. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then we just want to add the light grey on top. And I promise that we'll only have to do this once more after we have done this one. So we're just adding the light grey on top of this, and we'll just end up with something, whoops, we'll just end up with something that should look a little bit like, like that. So that is the second ridge on the back. Now, coming all the way up to, all the way down to the bottom and back of this little ridge, we want to do our 2 black wool again underneath it, and we want to once again leave a gap of 8, so that's 1, 2, so do 2 rows of 9 black wool coming out of the back of these 2 black wool, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the other one as well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And on top of each one of these black walls, we want to do a light grey, and then extend those back each by 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And the other one as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we want to add our 3 layers of light grey on top of this. So that'll be 1, 2, and 3. And the same thing all the way around. So we'll just end up with the exact same thing that we've done 2 times already, and this will be all of the detail that we have to do for the back. So this will be the back of the Ender Dragon pretty much complete in just a moment. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like that. 3 evenly spaced, evenly placed ridges on top of the dragon. Now once you have that taken care of, our next order of business is going to be the tail. So come all the way to the very back ridge on your dragon, take out your black wool, and place underneath the back 2 bottom blocks of the last ridge 2 black wool. Then extend those black wool and come all the way back to the actual very back of the dragon. The purpose of this is just to maintain where the 2 center blocks in the back of our dragon are, which are right here. Then, once you've connected to the back of your dragon, you then want to take where the 2 center blocks connect, and coming down the back of your dragon, just add an additional black wool coming down. So we now have these 2 exposed black wool. Extend these 2 black wool out of the dragon each by 1. And then go left and right each of these blocks by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the top of the base of the tail. You then want to take the very end blocks in the row that you've made and extend them down each by 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And you want to do the same with the other, except we don't have to count this out because we want to connect them together. You can kind of just like drag that over to the right a bit, then drag the other row down and form a square shape like this. We then want to take each one of the 4 corners of the square shape and extend them out of the back of the dragon each by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I don't know why I'm counting this out. I don't really have to count this out, do I? Because we want to connect these together. I fell into that trap of counting again, and I'm not sure how I did it, but at least we know that all 3 of those rows are 8. So we just want to extend those out all by 8, connect them together, and you may notice that this is the exact same dimension as each one of those neck pieces. And what we also want to do, like with the neck pieces, is coming up the top middle part of each one of these little links in the tail that we're going to do, you want to fill the 2 middle rows in with black. You guys know where those are, and you want to, leaving a gap of 2, do a row of 5 light grey coming up across the top. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on top of each one of those 2 middle blocks, and then you want to take those 2 rows of light grey and extend them up, coming each by 3. That's 1, 2, and 3, and that will be 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and that will be the very first link in our chain for the tail. As you can see, it's the exact same dimensions as the squares for the neck, except it's the tail this time. There's going to be 8 of these in total, and unlike the neck, these squares are going to taper downwards. They're going to come down. So for instance, the next layer in the tail is going to start 1 block downwards in relation to the top of this previous square. So it comes all the way across, it starts 1 block downwards, and remember that it wants to come down and it wants to sit just 1 one block below the previous link in the tail, so we want to form our square shape like this, and the only thing that we'll have to count out are the rows of 8 coming out of the back of each one of the corners, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we don't have to count that out anymore. We didn't even have to count out that second row of 8, did we? Not really, so this will be the second link in the tail. We'll have to do the exact same thing that we did to the first link. We'll have to do the 2 strips of black coming up from the top, and then we'll have to do the light grey on it as well. But I'm going to do that later. I'm going to do all of the square parts first, and then I'll do all of the little detail parts. So that's the second link, guys. The next 6 of these, because remember there's 8 in total, 2 plus 6, 8. The next 6 of these all taper down by 1 block. So it's the exact same thing that we did with the neck, except there's a few more of them, and it's going in the opposite direction. With the neck, you kind of like build upwards, but with the tail, you build downwards. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's all you have to do. This is one of the easier parts of your dragon, and just to make sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Which row is right? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll connect this one down. Oh, it's that one. Okay, so it would have been one shorter. Sometimes, if you're not sure, double check your rows, make sure that you've done them correctly. You don't always have to go with the very first measurement that you do. So, we're going to be doing this 8 times in total. I'm not going to be explaining this over and over and over again, but we have 3 links so far. We're almost halfway done. And remember, we just want to 1 block downwards, build the same shape over and over again. I'm going to add the detail afterwards. I just want the black squares done first of all. I figure I'll just do it all in one go. I don't know whether this will save time or whether it will just have the illusion of saving time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But that's how I want to do it. I think that this will be the best way to build it. And after this is done, after the tail's done, we'll then start moving on to some of the harder things. And the harder things include the legs. Mainly the legs are the harder bits of this, and the wings. The wings aren't as hard as the legs in my opinion, but they are quite big. So you know what, as a matter of fact, nothing on this dragon is even difficult, in my opinion. It's not as if it's really, really crazy difficult like an iron golem, just making sure how many links I have. Like, the iron golem is actually technically difficult. Like, there's a lot going on with the golem, there's a lot of patterns, there's loads and loads of blocks involved. The ender dragon is easy. That's the hard part about it. It's really, really simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The only hard bit of the dragon is the size of the dragon. That's where the difficulty stems from. It's not difficult because it's technically difficult, it's difficult because there's so much of it. That's the only reason that it's hard. And I believe that this will be the 5th link in the chain, and we will only have 3 more to do after this. So this should be link number 5, and it is. I'm just checking every so often, and now we have 6, so we just have the 6 to do, and then we will have 3 more, including the 6. So that's what's going to be happening afterwards. The legs are definitely difficult. I'd probably say that the legs, comparatively to the wings, they're probably the hardest part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's the order that we're doing things in. We've started with the head, we did the neck, we did the body. We're now doing the tail. We'll then do the legs, and then we'll do the wings. The wings are massive. The wings take a long time to fill in. The Ender Dragon itself, the longest part of this tutorial is not actually building the frame of the dragon, it is actually filling it in. It really is. The longest part of this is going to be filling the entire thing in with black wool, which is what we're ending up with. If you guys haven't figured out, we're building like the outline of it. We're building the outline of the dragon because it's not even feasible. It is not even feasible. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just had to cut the video there, so as a result of that, I've actually lost my train of thought, but I'm sure that I wasn't saying anything too important, or more than likely, nothing important at all. I was probably talking about how this is the second to last link in the tail, the penultimate part of the tail, and once we've got this one taken care of, we just have the last one to do, and then we can start adding detail to these. So let's just add in this last one, and then we can add in the detail, which will involve doing 2 strips of black all the way up the center of them, and then we will individually add in all of the light grey, or whatever way I decide to do it, we'll have to see. And then that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we just have to connect all of these together now, and then we'll be able to add all of the detail in. I'll add all of the strips of black in one. I might not even add both strips of black, because I don't really need to. I might just add like one middle strip of black all the way up the very center of the tail, and then I'll add in all of the light grey, do those those ridges, and then we can move on to the next bit. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. That should be the 8th and final link. Let's have a look. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. And now we just have to add the black middle row, which can be this one, it can be this one, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter which middle row it is, as long as we have a middle row. And by the way, guys, I should point out, and I'll say this now, but I'll say it again later, you can make the tail as long as you want. I've only included 8 links in the tail, but if you want a longer tail, then you can make that as long as you want. You can have 13, you can have 20, you can have as many as you want, or maybe you can have fewer. So we have a center row coming all the way up the middle of the tail. Now we just have to add all of the light grey. So leaving 2 away from the start, we have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that should be 2 away from the end as well. So it's a 5 middle block. So 2 away, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, whoa, uh-oh, we messed that up. That's 5 in the middle, and the last one, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And then we've just got to add this other row. Is it this row? Yeah, it's this row. It's the row on the left-hand side, the dragon. We've just got to add this in, and then I'm going to build up all of the other 3 layers directly on top of it. That's how I'm going to do this. I don't know why I've decided to do it this way, but whether this is faster or not, it's probably not faster. I just felt like doing it this way. Sometimes I like to build things like this. Sometimes I like to focus on one specific part of the tail first of all, like get the shape of it taken care of, then do all of the detail, instead of doing it kind of like, you know how we did with the neck, how we kind of like built up each one of the parts of the neck individually. I don't typically build things that way, especially when I'm designing them and rebuilding things. I just tend to focus on specific parts of the build instead. For instance, like I said, like we've taken care of the shape of the tail, then we did like the black strip up the center, now we're doing the light grey, now we're adding the layers on the light grey. I like to do things in little orders like that. I don't know why, I think it breaks up the build a little bit. If you're focusing on each individual part, it seems as though it takes longer, but if you're doing it in mass, it doesn't seem like it's taking too long at all. Plus you can kind of get into a little groove with it, so I don't know, it just seems it seems more efficient, it seems a little faster, but I highly doubt if it is. It's probably just a little mind trick that I've managed to do to myself just to make it a little bit more tolerable to build, especially with these larger builds. But as you can see, we now have the tail taken care of, identical to the neck, except curved in a different direction, and there's longer links. Remember, you can have more than 8 if you want. If you want to have a tail that's like 13 long, 50 long, 500 long, that's completely up to you. But on most of the models that I've seen, the Ender Dragon has 8 links in his tail, so we're sticking to 8. I think that that's a pretty solid number. So once you yourself have got the tail taken care of, guess what? It's now time for the real fun to begin. That's the easy part of the dragon done, guys. That's the easy part. The head, the body, the tail. Now it's time to move on to the legs. So, since we're on this side of the dragon, since we're on the right-hand side of the dragon, once you've got the tail taken care of, and pause is necessary if you're still working on it, you want to come all the way up to the top back right-hand corner of the dragon. So you want to be on top of this block right here. Take out your magenta wool, or any wool that is not black, and on top of this row, count in and find the 16th block with your magenta. So that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Underneath, or coming out of, this black wool block that we have underneath this magenta, the 16th block, we want to do a row of 12 black wool coming out of the 16th black. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then, from this 12th block, we want to do 13 bottom left diagonals. So coming towards the front of the dragon, 13 bottom left diagonals. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then, from this 13th bottom left diagonal, do 31 bottom right diagonals. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Then take this 31st bottom right diagonal and go right of it by 1. Then do 2 up right diagonals, so that'll be 1 and 2. Go right of that second upper right diagonal by 33, that's 3, 3, 33, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Then, from that 33rd block, go down by 15, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then go right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then go up by 23, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Then take that 23rd block and go left of it by 5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then go up by 2, 1, 2. Then go left by 21, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Then do up left diagonals until you eventually connect all the way back to where you first started. And all being well, you should connect, if we've managed to do that right. You guys know that I don't always get this problem on. If we do this right, then we should connect all the way back to that very first 12th block that we placed sticking out the side of the dragon, and this will give us the outline for the leg, and then we'll be able to progress. It will take a load of up left diagonals, so we've probably got a solid 12 seconds or so more of doing these. Even longer if I keep doing them right. I keep placing them wrong as well. I keep going to the side of them instead of like placing them on top. But all being well, you should connect all the way back to the original 12th block, and you'll end up with a shape that looks really, really weird once it's not 3D. The 2D version of the shape looks really, really strange actually. It kind of looks like an upturned like punching bag or something. I don't even know how to describe it, but anyway, that is what you want to have. I'm going to explain how to make this like 3D. So the way that we make this like 3D, and this is a very tedious process, we take every single one, and I do mean every single one of the blocks that we just placed, and we extend it coming towards the Ender Dragon, coming back towards the Ender Dragon, each by 11. So that will look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It'll look like that, and you want to do that with every single one of these blocks. I'm not going to be doing this now, and I wouldn't suggest that you do this now either, but this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to drag each one of these blocks all the way back to the center of our Ender Dragon. We're going to have to drag every single one of these blocks individually back towards the center of our Ender Dragon, and that is how we're going to make the leg 3D. After we've done that, we'll then be able to fill in the side of the leg, like this side of the leg here, for instance. I mean, just pick a random patch. We'll be able to fill like the side of the leg completely in with black. That will cover the top, that will cover the bottom, and we'll also have to fill in the inside of the part of the leg as well. But that's how we'll make the leg 3D. We have to take each one of those blocks, extend it towards the body by 12. Now that you know that, you can either do that now if you want, pause this if necessary, work on that, come back. Do that now if you like, but I'm going to move on to the other leg. So once you've got that leg taken care of, let's move all the way over to the opposite side, and we're going to be doing the same thing here. So we're on the now back top left hand corner, and taking out our magenta again and counting to the 16th block. Once again, we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then we want to take the 16th black wool, extend it out of the side of the dragon by 12 with the black. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We then want to take that 12th block and do 13 bottom right diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We then, from that 13th bottom right diagonal, want to do 31 bottom left diagonals. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Bottom left diagonals. You then want to go left by 1. Do 2 upper left diagonals, that will be 1 and 2. We then want to go left of that second up left diagonal by 33, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. We then want to go down from that 33rd block by 15, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We then want to go left by 4, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to go up by 23, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We then want to go right by 5, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then up by 2, 1, 2. Then right by 21, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then all we have to do is upright diagonals until we eventually reconnect all the way back to that original 12th block. And you guys know that this is going to take a while. Put on some elevator music. I probably already have some running in the background, or at least that's what most of the music kind of sounds like. I don't know why. It's soothing. That's the music that I like to use in the background. Roughly elevator music. It's not designed that way, but that's pretty much what it ends up sounding like. I like it. I don't know. I find it very calming whilst building. But you know, listen to what you want. Heavy metal, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, whatever. You do what you want. But I'm going to continue on, and boom, there we go. We've connected diagonally all the way back to where we first started, and that gives us the, again, really weird looking outline. It kind of looks like a really weird extended fire extinguisher. It gives us a really weird outline of the second hind leg. And again, remember, if you want to make this 3D, all you have to do is take each one of these blocks and extend them, coming towards the center of your Ender Dragon, each by 11. And obviously, you really only have to count out the 11 once, because you can then do it once and then just do the next block down and down and down, so on and so forth, until you've eventually went all the way around. If you want, make it 3D now, fill it all in, do that to the top, do that to the bottom, then you'll just have to fill in these outer and inner parts of the exposed Ender Dragon leg. If you want to do that now, that's completely up to you, but I wouldn't advise doing that now. I would do that later once you're filling in the entire Ender Dragon, just so that you have the outline first. So those are the back legs. Let's move on to the front two legs. So come all the way over to the front side of your current side of the Ender Dragon. So you want to be at the top front left-hand corner of the dragon. Take out your magenta wall, and counting in, coming towards the back of the dragon left on top of this corner block, you want to count in and find the 15th block with your magenta. That's 15th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then underneath this 15th block with your black wall, you want to go down by 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Coming out from the 7th block, could do a row of 6 black wall. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do 5 bottom right diagonals from this 6th black wall. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're coming towards the front of your dragon. You then, from this 5th bottom right diagonal, want to do 23 bottom left diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You then, from this 23rd bottom left diagonal, want to do 5 up left diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go left by 1. Then do an up left diagonal. followed by 3 bottom left diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3. Then do 16 bottom right diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You then want to do 3 upper right diagonals. That is 1 and 2 and 3. Then do up left diagonals until you eventually connect back to where you first started. And it does get a little bit weird when you get towards the end of this, because it doesn't connect how you think it might. Like, you have to come underneath these existing diagonals until you eventually connect diagonally like that, so you can't go any further. And it ends up in the shape of kind of like a really deformed croquet mallet like this. There's a reason for this, I'll explain in a moment. Once you've got that, you then want to come all the way back up to the 6th block right here, and from the 6th block do bottom left diagonals until you eventually connect down to the bottom of the foot. So you just want to do bottom left diagonals. I don't know how many it will take, probably 23-ish. Connect all the way down to the foot, and then we can talk about why things look a little bit weird down here. I'll explain everything. So just want to keep going with these diagonals here. It will take a little while, as I keep saying. I've got nothing else to talk about, that's why I'm stalling. So you want to end up with a shape that should look like this. Everything should connect diagonally. That's actually kind of perfect. Now it looks more like a really weird hammer. Now, if you want to make this foot 3D right now, this leg 3D, what you have to do is take each one of these blocks and extend them coming back towards the dragon, each by 5. So that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until you eventually have each one of them extended back by 5. Except here's the thing. For the very end part of the foot, the actual foot part of the foot, on the inside and the outside parts of the foot, you want it to extend out by 1 row. So the leg wants to be, like, let's say the leg is 6 blocks thick. Well, the foot is 8 blocks thick because it is thicker than the leg on the outside and the inside, if you guys can see what I mean. So that's as far as the actual leg comes out. The foot comes out 1 row further. You can see where the foot is. It's a very clean shape. And that applies on the inside as well. So you can see the inside here where we have like the blocks for the actual leg. Well, the foot, it will come out 1 block further. Can you see what I'm doing here? Like, the actual blocks for the foot will come out 1 further than the leg. That is on one side and the other. Remember, the actual leg, you extend it over by 5, and then you just add an additional 1 for the layer for the foot. If you want to make the foot, the leg, all 3D, if you want to fill it in now, be my guest. If not, continue on with the tutorial. We're going to move on to the other leg. Obviously, pause it if necessary if you are going to do that right now. So let's come all the way over onto the opposite side of the dragon, the top front right-hand corner of the dragon this time. And taking out our magenta once again, we want to count in and find the 15th block. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Underneath this 15th block, we want to take out our black wool and do a row of... We want to do a row of 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then coming out from the 7th block, we want to do a row of 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then from the 6th block, do 5 bottom left diagonals. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do 23 bottom right diagonals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We then want to do 5 upper right diagonals, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to go right by 1, do an up right diagonal, followed by 3 bottom right diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3. Then do 16 bottom left diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. We then want to do 3 up left diagonals, that is 1, 2, 3. And then we want to do up right diagonals until we eventually reconnect all the way back up to that foot. And remember, it does get a little bit weird once you reach the top, but you've just got to place black wool underneath these diagonals here until you eventually can't do it anymore. Once you've got that shape taken care of, again the broken croquet mallet looking shape, we come all the way up to the 6th block that we started this off with, poking out the dragon, and we do bottom right diagonals from it until we eventually connect down to the foot. And then that'll be the outline of the foot complete, and if you want to choose to make the foot all 3D and complete now, then that is completely up to you. Completely up to you. Then that's up to you. But you'll have to pause the video, you'll have to make it 3D, and then you'll just have to resume and then you can move on to the final part of this, because this is the 4th and final leg, and once this is done, there's only 2 things left to do other than fill it in, which are going to be the wings. And there we go, perfect, we've connected all the way back down to the foot. That is the outline complete, and just to remind you, if you do want to make it 3D, you take each one of the blocks, you extend them coming towards back to the dragon each by 5, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do that for every single one of them, except with the feet. The feet, you add an additional block. So for the feet, for instance, like that, this is like the leg 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The foot would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So remember, the foot is extended out by 1 row on either side, the outside and the inside. But that's enough about the legs. Once you've got that taken care of, guys, the only thing that we have to do now are our dragon's wings. So let's get to it, shall we? Okay, so for the wings, you're going to want to, since we're on the right-hand side of the Ender Dragon, we may as well stay here. We're on the right-hand side of the Ender Dragon, and we have to destroy this guiding row of magenta first of all. We'll just destroy that. That's what we use to place the front legs. So we're on the front right-hand side of the Ender Dragon, take out your magenta again, and on top of this corner, counting backwards once again, you want to locate the 18th block. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is the 18th block, this black wool underneath. Well, from this black wool, we want to do a row of, coming out from this black wool, 56 light grey. That's right, 56, 5, 6. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, and 56. We then want to take this 56th block and we want to, going towards the Ender Dragon, so right, we want to go right by 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then connect this 6th block all the way back to your Ender Dragon. So this will take a little while, obviously. We'll sit here waiting for it to connect. There's 50-ish blocks to connect, so you know it's going to take some time, and boom, there we go. So we've now connected it. What you then want to do is, on top of this layer of light grey wool that we have now, add an additional layer of light grey wool. So slap directly on top of it an additional layer of light grey wool. Go all the way around on top of it. This will take some time, of course. We're placing well over 100 blocks, so this will obviously take some time. This is just the first chunkier part of the wing, plus we've also got to make this nice and 3D as well, so I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. Wait for it. Wait for it, and we have connected back to where we first started. So what we now want to do is, underneath this layer of light grey wool, we want to add 4 additional layers of light grey. We're not going to do this just now, we're just going to do the outline for it, so it will look like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to want to have 4 additional layers of light grey underneath this, and this is going to be the larger part of like the edge of the wing. On the edge of the wing there's like 2 large pieces of light grey. I don't know, like, are they supposed to be bone? I don't know what they're supposed to be, but they're like on the front of the wing. And in total, there's 6 layers of them. Since we already did 2, we only have to add 4 underneath, and we're just turning this into a shape. This is a shape that we're going to fill in a little later on. It's going to look like a very large light grey rectangle, and after we've actually done like the little outline for this, we can also connect it back together there, and we can now connect it back on itself. Boom. So we want to have something which should look like that. Now, once you've got that taken care of, we now want to add the next bit of the wing. So come all the way to the very end of your wing, and you want to locate the 3 middle blocks of your wing. And you can start from the top, so these 3 middle blocks. And you want to extend each one of these middle blocks out, coming out of this further out by 57. So that'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. And you want to have that for each one of those 3 middle blocks. So obviously you want to take that middle block and you just want to extend it like left and right, so like in front and back, each by 1 row. And of course this will once again take some time, as will most of the wing. I'd like to say that this is one of the more time-consuming parts of the wing, but that would be an outright lie. The hardest part of this wing, the most time-consuming part, is going to be filling it in. But you want to have your 3 rows of light grey wool. And what you then want to do, you want to take the 2 end corners here and you want to extend them down each by 5. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the other one as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Connect them together. Connect them all the way back over to where you first started. Again, this will take some time, as will most things of this wing. But once you have done this end bit, this shorter bit, well, actually it's technically longer, this skinnier bit of the wing, we can then move on to the actual, like, the bit that allows them to glide and fly and flap, the big, larger black part of the wing. So that's what we're going to be doing in just a moment. Give it a second. We've just about done it. Boom, we've connected. So once you have reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. You guys want to know a fun fact? Turns out that you actually want to have 7 layers in total. So remember how I said that you in total want to have 6 layers? Completely disregard that and add an additional layer underneath this. This of course makes sense because we have to add the actual middle part of the wing, the black part of the wing, we have to add that in, and it's going to go right in the center. And obviously if there's only 6 layers, then it'd obviously be a little skew width at some point. So just add an additional layer of light grey going underneath, and I'll just make sure that I get the opposite wing right. Usually I would go back and edit all of this, but with something as simple as just adding an additional layer, I think that that's more than acceptable for us to just simply add another little line of light grey wool underneath this. And once this is done, I now know what we have to do to complete the rest of the wing. So we just have this little bit here, and then we can add the big black part of the wing. And this is going to take a little while because it's actually a really long row. Yeah, kind of a long row. So are we here? Yeah, there we go. So once you've added that additional layer of light grey wool underneath, what you then want to do is, in line with this middle block, this one right here, it should have 3 up and down. You're on the back part of the wing, so coming back towards the back of the Ender Dragon, you want to take this middle block, and you're going to have to pay a lot of attention to this part, guys, because it's kind of tricky, because we're mid-air. You want to take this middle block, and with your black wool, you want to extend it back by 2. 1, 2. You then want to do like an inwards diagonal, and you want to come down by 1. Do an inwards diagonal, come in by 1. Then do an inwards diagonal, come in by 1, right by 1. Do an inwards diagonal, and come down by 1. do 2 inwards diagonals, so that's 1 and 2, and then come down by 1. Do an inwards diagonal, come down by 2. Do an inwards diagonal, come down by 2. Then do an inwards diagonal, come down by 3. 1, 2, 3. Do an inwards diagonal and come down by 3. 1, 2, 3. Do an inwards diagonal and come down by 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then do an outwards diagonal, moving outwards, and go down by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Do an outwards diagonal, and then go right of that diagonal by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do an inwards diagonal, so coming back towards the wing, do an inwards diagonal, and then come across by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then do an inwards diagonal and come across by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then do an outwards diagonal and go right by 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an outwards diagonal and go right by 1. Do an outwards diagonal and go right by 2. Do an outwards diagonal and go right by 1. Do 2 outward diagonals, 1 and 2, and go right by 1. Do an outwards diagonal, come down by 1. Then do 3 inward diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3. Then go right by 1. Then do an inward diagonal, and go right by 1. Go up 1, do an inward diagonal, and go up by 1. Then do 6 inward diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then go right by 1. Then do an inward diagonal, and go right by 1. Then do an inward diagonal and go right by 2. Then do an inward diagonal and go right by 2. Then do an inward diagonal and go right by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then come up or towards the wing again by 2. 1, 2. Then do an inward diagonal and go up by 2. 1, 2. Then do an inward diagonal and come up by 1. Do an inward diagonal and come up by 2. Do an inward diagonal and come up by 1. Do an inward diagonal and come up by 1. Do 2 up inward diagonals, that's 1 and 2. Then go right by 1. Then up 1. Then do 7 inward diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then go right by 1. Go up by 1. Do 3 up right diagonals, so towards the front of the ring. That is 1, 2, 3. Then go right by 1. Do an upright diagonal. Go right by 1. Do an upright diagonal and go right by 1. Do an upright diagonal, go right by 1. Then do an upright diagonal and then go right until you connect all the way back to the Ender Dragon. And obviously you'll be connecting back to empty space, but you guys get the idea. You'll want to end up with a shape that should look a little something like this. There you go, that's the rough shape of the wing. You can see it's kind of like a bat wing, really. That's the first wing taken care of. Once you've got that first one taken care of, let's move on to the second one. So coming all the way over to the opposite side here, we are on the opposite side now. we want to knock out all of this magenta, and we're going to recount it. We don't technically have to recount it, but we're going to anyway. Knock out all the magenta that we used to measure out the wing earlier, or the foot earlier. On top of this, top front left-hand corner block, we want to count in by 18, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Then coming out from the 18th magenta block, we can come out from the 18th magenta block, we want to do a row of 56 light grey walls, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. Then go left of this block towards where the back of the dragon is going to be by 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then connect all the way back to the dragon. This will take a while because it's a row of 55, so it'll take a little while. And this time we're going to get the measurement right for how many rows we want to do underneath this thing. So we've connected all the way back to the dragon, we connect diagonally, and then underneath this we're going to want to add 6 additional layers of light grey, so that'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we're just going to trace alongside or underneath the light grey shape that we've just made, and we'll just connect it at the corners just so that we form a solid shape, just so that we'll form a large rectangular shape. And once we form this, we'll do the ever so slightly smaller rectangular shape coming out of this, and then we will move on to the wing, and then it's going to be filling in time, which is my least favorite time, to be honest with you guys. This is much more interesting than filling it in. Filling it in will put you to sleep. It will, trust me. It's not going to be fun. But anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's continue filling this thing in. We just want to place this block, connect it back up to where we first started. And there we go, and there we have the outline of the large part of the wing. Once you've got that taken care of, you want to come to the very end of the wing, take the 3 middle blocks from the top here, these 3 middle blocks, and extend them each coming out by 57. You know what, I'm only going to take these 2 outer blocks so that I have a shape to fill in. So that'll be 57, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. I'm then going to take this and extend it out in front by 2, and then I'm only going to connect this block. I'm going to connect this block back to where we first started, and this will just reduce the amount of time that we're placing light grey wool essentially. So we can do that, and then we can take these 2 blocks here, we can extend these down, and then we can just we're forming a slightly smaller rectangular shape. That's all we're doing. And instead of like on the other side, you remember how I extended the 3 top center blocks? Well, we only have to do the outer 2 really. We really only have to do the outer 2, so that's all we're going to be doing. We have just about, we've overshot ourselves a little bit, but that's okay. And then we can just connect the corners down to this, and then 2 this way, 1 up, and then we can connect back to the actual body of the dragon. Perfect! And then we will move on to the wing, which is going to be, once again, no fun whatsoever. At least I don't like doing the wing. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that's the large part of the wing, that's the small part of the wing. Once you've got that taken care of, you want to take out your black wool, come to the very end of the wing. You want to be in line with this center block, which leaves you 3 above, 3 below. This center block with your black wool coming outwards towards the back of the dragon. You want to start this off with a row of 2. 1, 2. Then do an inward diagonal, come down by 1. Inward diagonal, come down by 1. Then do an inward diagonal, down 1, left 1. Inward diagonal, down 1. 2 inward diagonals, come down by 1. Inward diagonal, come down by 2. Do an inward diagonal, and come down by 2. Do an inward diagonal, and come down by 3. Do an inward diagonal, and come down by 3. Do an inward diagonal, and come down by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then do an outward diagonal and come down by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do an outward diagonal and then go left of it by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, kind of taking a look at this direction, from this direction, you want to do an inward diagonal and go right by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do an inward diagonal and go right by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then, looking this way again, we want to do an outward diagonal and we want to go left by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an outward diagonal and go left by 1. Do an outward diagonal and go left by 2. Do an outward diagonal and go left by 1. Do 2 outward diagonals, that is 1 and 2, and go left by 1. Do an outward diagonal and come down by 1. Do 3 outward diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3, and go left by 1. Then looking this way, do an inward diagonal, go right 1, come in 1. Do an outward diagonal and come in by 1. Do 6 inward diagonals, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep. And then go right of the 6th diagonal. Then do an inward diagonal and go right by 1. Do an inward diagonal and go right by 2. Do an inward diagonal and go right by 2. Do an inward diagonal and go right by 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then come back towards you by 2. 1, 2. Then do an outward diagonal and come up by 2. Do an outward diagonal, come up by 1. Then do an outward diagonal and come up by 2. Do an outward diagonal, come up by 1. Do an outward diagonal, come up by 1. Do 2 outward diagonals, that is 1 and 2. Then go right by 1, then up by 1. Do 7 outward diagonals, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then go right by 1, then towards you by 1. Do 3 outward diagonals, that is 1, 2, and 3. Then go right by 1. Do an outward diagonal, go right by 1. Outward diagonal, go right by 1. Outward diagonal, go right by 1. Then do an outward diagonal and go right until you connect back to your dragon, or you don't really connect back to it, but you guys get the idea. And what you'll end up with should look a little something like this, and that is the outline of your Ender Dragon, 100% fully completed. Doesn't that look glorious? By God, I forget how big it is. You forget how big the thing is, but when you look at it, you just forget how absolutely huge it is. Now, you guys know what you're going to have to do to fill this in, don't you? Now that the wings are done, you'll have to fill the center of these wings. So these black parts, you'll have to fill these in with black wool, like this, coming all the way across, filling the center of that in with black. And you'll have to fill the front parts of the wings, the light grey, the big 2 rectangular parts of the wing, you fill those in with light grey wool. You fill the rest of the dragon in with black wool, and do not forget to make the legs 3D. That is the dragon, guys. That is the tutorial from this point, 100% fully completed. That is all I'll be able to show you. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to flip over to the original version of my Ender Dragon, and I'll show you how it looks once it's been 100% fully filled in. So That's a tutorial complete, guys. Let me show you what the actual filled-in Ender Dragon looks like. And here he is in all of his glory. This is what he looks like once he has been 100% fully filled in. Or maybe it's a she. Maybe the Ender Dragon's a she, because I mean it does drop an egg after all. The Ender Dragon is probably a she. I've only just realized it. But this is what the Ender Dragon looks like once it has been 100% fully filled in. That's everything. Remember, it's not that hard. Once you've made the legs 3D, once you've filled everything in with black, once you've filled the wings in with light grey, that's all you have to do. It's not complicated, but it will take you a really long time. And do remember, can you see those front legs there? Remember to make those 3D. Remember to make the feet a little bit bigger than the actual leg itself, and that's all you have to remember there. But there you go, guys. That's the Ender Dragon. That's what it looks like once it's filled in. I'm going to kind of like pan over it a little bit now. I'm going to kind of like show you guys exactly how big it is. You can see how big it is in relation to the school. It is massive. I also thought it was kind of funny to just place it above the school. But anyway, that is the Ender Dragon, guys. Hopefully you've managed to follow along this tutorial. Hopefully you've managed to make it. I hope you really have, because it is fundamentally an easy design. If you have managed to make it, if you do like it, please give this video a like, please give it a favorite, please give it a share, because I really worked hard on this one. Not only did I have to design this, I had to build it twice, 2.5 times, because the recording messed up a little bit. It's so big. You guys have been asking for it for so long. I finally delivered. Please give this video a like, please give it a favorite, please give it a share, and maybe I'll even make more projects exactly like this. Well, not exactly like this. I'll make bigger projects if the demand's there and you guys want it enough. So like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind. Comment down below, what do you want me to make next? Are you happy that the Ender Dragon's finally out? Is there a new challenge that you guys want me to do that will take me ages to do? Check out the card system for my other various videos and playlists. I would highly recommend my Minecraft and Mob tutorials playlist, because that's where you're going to find a load more stuff like this. Or maybe you're even interested in the school. Check out the real world building playlist, just in case you want to make a school just below your Ender Dragon. But like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind. Comment down below. Let me know if you're happy or not. Check out the card system, and I'll see you guys in the next video. It's over. It's finally over.